another video about a different subject. Okay, let me start with the first part. Let me start talking about the lateral reticulospinal tract, which is this. First, I think that will be better if I just do this. Oh no, don't fail now. Yep, here we are. Okay. Spinal cord. And then we have this part here. Posterior horn. Lateral anterior horn. Central canal. And now we can start. I'm going to start with the blue color. And the blue color will be representing here the lateral reticulospinal tract. Okay, the lateral reticulospinal tract is descending. Memorize this. Lateral reticulospinal tract is descending. And this tract will originate from the reticular formation in the brainstem, and it will descend through the spinal cord, okay? Reticulospinal tract. And it will intermingle with descending autonomic fibers, playing an important function in modulating muscle tone and posture. Okay, when this tract is damaged, the patient might present changes in muscle tone and postural control. So this is something that can happen. Now we have this here. Let me see how I'm going to mark this one. Okay, this one. This one is the hubrospinal tract. Lateral spinal tract, hubrospinal tract. Okay? Lateral reticulospinal tract, hubrospinal tract. And the hubrospinal tract is descending as well. We have two descending. Let me just put here. Descending and also descending. And hubrospinal tract. Okay, when I was writing the areas on Xiaohongshu, which is another social media, but is a Chinese social media, they complained about the capital letters. I don't think that they are used to read things like this. I prefer. Well, the hubrospinal tract, which is this one, I'm gonna use the red color just to differentiate from the lateral reticulospinal tract. And this one originates from the red nucleus in the midbrain and descends through the spinal cord. And if you see the function, it will primarily influence the limb movements. Okay, and then we this one, the hubrospinal tract, helps coordinate fine motor skills, and it will also contribute to voluntary movement control. Usually, when this tract is damaged, the patient might present impaired coordination and precision in limb movements. This is something that can happen with the patient. What else? We have here I forgot to label this one. So, lateral corticospinal tract. So, where I'm going to is here. So, this one. Okay. This one is the lateral corticospinal tract. And the lateral corticospinal tract is also descending. Corticospinal tract. Okay. The lateral corticospinal tract is also descending. Which color? Maybe pink one. Just to differentiate from the hubrospinal tract and the lateral reticulospinal tract. Okay, so we have these 3 descending tracts here. And this tract will originate from the cerebral cortex and descends through the spinal cord, crossing over the we can call decussation at the level of the medulla oblongata, and it's mainly responsible for controlling skilled, precise movements of the limbs. And when affected, when damaged, let's say for some trauma or even damaged by stroke, can make the patient presents hemiplegia, which is paralysis on one side of the body. I was just remember what the condition. So let me just do this one, and this one. I hope it's not too confused. What else? We have the dorsolateral tract, this one. Okay, the dorsolateral tract. And the dorsolateral tract is also, the dorsolateral tract is actually ascending. Okay, and it's located, as you can see here, in the dorsal column of the spinal cord. And this tract in specific carries sensory information from the skin and joints. And here we can include touch, pressure, what else? Vibration sensations, and this tract actually ascends to the brainstem and the thalamus. And when damaged, this tract results in loss of proprioception, tactile sensation. Okay, this one. So let me use this color here. Dorsolateral tract, and this one is ascending. And then we have the posterior spinocerebellar tract. Okay, posterior spinocerebellar tract, which is also ascending. Let me just grab a pen. Posterior spinocerebellar tract. And this one, guys, is ascending. Let me find another color. I'll grab this one. This is the posterior spinocerebellar tract, and this one and this one is ascending. Okay, let me just ascending. Okay, and this tract is part of the spinothalamic pathway, and it will transmit pain and temperature sensation from the body to the brain. It decussates in the spinal cord and ascends to the thalamus. And clinically, when affected, when damaged, let's say for a spinal cord injury or demyelination disease, we can include here the multiple sclerosis, which is one of the diseases that we mentioned before. It can lead to altered pain perception and also loss of temperature sensation. Okay, this is the posterior spinocerebellar tract. We also have here the anterior spinocerebellar tract. Let me just write down. Anterior spinocerebellar tract. And the anterior spinocerebellar tract is ascending. Ascending. Okay. And similar to the posterior spinocerebellar tract, this one carries pain and temperature information, but it is less well defined, and it contributes to the ascending pathways. And when damaged, this tract, when damaged can result in similar symptoms, basically. Okay, basically the same symptoms that affects the posterior spinocerebellar tract. Just this. So let me use this color here for the anterior one. And here we have the olivo spinal tract, which is the next one. Olivo, let me write here, spinal tract. And the olivo spinal tract is descending. The olivospinal tract is descending. Originates from the inferior olivary nucleus in the medulla oblongata, and this tract descends through the spinal cord and intermingles with the spinolivary tract. Okay, it's mainly responsible for coordination, complex coordination, some motor activities, particularly involving the cerebellum. And damage to this tract usually affects the balance and coordination. Now let me find a color for this one. Maybe this one. Okay. What else? We have a spinotectal tract, which is also no, this one is ascending. Spinotectal tract, and this one, guys, is ascending. Okay, so let me just find another color. This one. This spinotectal tract carries sensor information from the spinal cord to the tectum in the midbrain, and it's involved in reflexive response to visual and auditory stimuli, such as orienting the head and the eyes towards the stimulus, and usually damage to this tract can impair a reflexive response to external stimuli. So let me just do this. And then we finish with this one. This one right here. The lateral spinothalamic tract. Guys, taps are free. If you can help me with the taps, I really appreciate. Spinothalamic tract. Okay, we have the lateral spinothalamic tract, and this is the major component of the spinothalamic pathway. This tract carries pain and temperature information from the body to the thalamus, and it's important for processing nociceptive pain, especially nociceptive pain signals and thermal sensations. Let's say that this tract is affected by a spinal cord compression or trauma. What can happen in this situation is the patient might present altered pain perception and also loss of temperature sensation. This is something that can happen. So let me just finish this part here. and this one, as I mentioned, is ascending. Okay, anything else? I don't remember if I forgot something. I don't think so. Yeah. Let me just no, I'm not gonna do this. Okay, this is what I have for you, and what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna finish this part of the live. This part of the live took around 20 minutes probably. Yeah. And yeah, I really appreciate your support. If you can follow me or join my team, it will be really helpful. And tomorrow I'm gonna talk about the anterior funiculi. Okay, tomorrow I'm gonna talk about the anterior funiculi. Okay, today was about the posterior funiculi, lateral funiculi. I also talked about the posterior funiculi, and tomorrow we're gonna talk about the anterior one. Yeah, that's it for today, for this part. Now we are going to move to another part, which is to the part of Chinese medicine. But I'm gonna end this live and then I will return later.